So everybody's worried about Destined Rivals, and I think they're all wrong. So yes, we see Team Rocket, the Japanese set, but a lot of people are seeing the Team Rocket set price change because of the cards and, a lot of negative naysayers. At first, when I saw the cards, I'm like, well, this is Pokemon. They they did what they normally did, and Pokemon does not like to make everyone super happy. They want to make everyone super hungry. And that's what's happened with the Team Rocket set. So they're not going to give you everything you want. You're not going to get your Jesse James. You're not going to get your Giovanni Mewtwo. You're not going to get that. You're going to get you're going to get slice so that you're hungry for more. And that's exactly what they did. But Destined Rivals is not just Team Rocket. So yes, maybe the Japanese Team Rocket set is not the best ever. It's not going to, completely devastate supply and get things even crazier. It's perfect. Destined Rivals is going to be perfect. It's going to be the combination of Heatwave Arena, which if you've seen Heatwave Arena, the cards are really nice. It's going to be a combination of that and the Team Rocket, the glory of Team Rocket set that we're seeing coming out of Japan. And Destined Rivals is a combination of these two. Now, on its own, either of these sets are okay. But when you put them together, and you put them in the English set, I think Destined Rivals is still going to be the very, very powerful set. And despite, the prices are going down, it's only because of what Pokemon does. They're not going to give you everything that you want. You're not going to get your trainer card from Hidden Fates. You're just not going to get everything you want. And the reason they do this is so that you're hungry for the next set. And you're going to see it. So Team Rocket's going to play out. Japanese boxes are going to come down a little bit and then flat line. They'll be up. They're not going to get less than maybe. I'm using Canadian, but they're not going to get much lower than $200 Canadian, like 150 US. That's probably what's going to happen. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to see them down at the $100 US range. I don't know. Might happen, might not. But anyway, I bought in for $200 for Team Rocket Canadian, which is about 150 US. And I think that's a horrible price, but I think that's what it's going to cost. That's what it's cost me to get it from Japan. But I think what it's really telling me is that Destined Rivals is really going to be a good set. Everyone wanted it to be the greatest set ever. Every new Pokemon set is always a great set, but I think it's going to be really solid. The combination of Heatwave Arena, the combination of the glory of Team Rocket, it's going to be really a powerful combination to make a really enjoyable set to open, and it's going to be big. It's another one of those two Japanese set boxes. It's not going to be like Journey Together, but Journey Together was quite nice. People liked it. There's new people collecting Journey Together. There's always new people coming into the hobby, and it's good to see. Although they're getting memory of how difficult and how high the prices are, and I think that's what Pokemon wanted. Is they didn't want their product to be cheap anymore, and I think they're strangling the supply, and I think the reason they're doing that is because they want their product to go at MSRP. And I got my allocations for the furry EV deck box, which has a bunch of prismatic packs, and it's low again. Surprise, surprise! It's low again. Don't have enough for all my customers, which sucks. Really does. The people who have kids who are collecting, parents and I know it sucks that you don't have kids and you have disposable income, but the people who have kids, I'm going to try to get them an EV box. So I'm only getting 8. Pokeshelly is only getting 8. They told me 2 cases, and I assume it's a bigger box, so 4 per case, so 8. It better not be like a 3 caser. I'd love as a 6 caser, but highly doubtful. Although Pokemon has been sending some pretty big collection boxes, so the Blooming Waters case is huge. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know How many prismatic furry deck boxes are in a case? Tell me in the comments. We will know next week when it comes out. There's also the Dragapult box. Now, here's an interesting thing. Dragapult, it's allocated. League Battle Deck for Dragapult is allocated. I'm only getting like half a display. So, allocation of League Battle Decks. Before it was like, you gotta take these. You gotta take these. And now it's like, we can only get you like half a display. The world has changed. It's totally new from the perspective of a seller who is working with distribution to provide his collecting base, his customers with product supply. The world has changed. It's changed. And I know that I'll put the Dragapult boxes up and they'll sell. Like, I no longer have a container of League Battle Decks and Battle Decks. It's been like going down. People want the cards, want the promos. I think, so from a seller's perspective, big smile. From a collector's perspective, these high prices, which I will openly admit when I'm selling you something, this is a high price. These high prices are not good from a collector's perspective. Everyone says this is going to come down. It's going to turn, the tides are going to change. It's not going to be like this forever. My biggest, let's be upfront, I'd like for the FOMO to continue, just to have continuous supply of revenue and grow the business and all that. But I can't grow the business because I can't get more product. So I'm basically playing, holding a double-edged sword here, and I'd love to grow, but I can't grow because I can't supply, and yeah, it's complicated. So in essence, I'd love for this demand to continue, love to have lots of new customers, but there's no supply, so I can't have new customers. And I think Pokemon might maintain this just wait, it's going to come down. That sentiment that you hear from a lot of people, I've said it a bunch of times, just wait, it's going to come down. What if they don't keep printing a lot? What if they continue to starve the market for supply? What if Pokemon really wants to set market memory such that MSRP is a great deal? It would be good for stores because, there'd actually be margins on Pokemon. Now, stores know that there's usually only maybe 10% margin on Pokemon. And that is not a good spot for a product. When margins are so low at retail, big box customers, big box stores don't want to carry it. But I think they want to set a price memory. They are shaking up the market. And are they this smart? Pokemon is extremely smart. Are they smart enough to set a price memory on their products so that they can slowly print more? And normally they really control, normally they'll overdo supply, and there'll be a glut, and things will be sold at wholesale, and stores will lose their shirt because they're stuck buying a bunch of product. Might happen again. Everybody claims it's going to happen again. What if Pokemon doesn't want that to happen again? What if they're just going to continue to really slowly increase supply, and the second there's too much, they might even pull back? What if? Now, as I was saying about Destined Rivals, it's going to be a really good set. It's a combination of Team Rocket, combination of Heatwave Arena, and if you've seen those cards, and we do deal with Japanese here, they're really nice. Like, it's going to be a really good set, like really great selection of art rares. One of the things I do notice about these two sets is Pokemon's bringing back a bit of violence. Now, if you've noticed the last part of Sword and Shield, the early parts, there was a lot of focus on cute. But what's happened recently is there's a lot more action in the cards and less cute, less relaxing. Now, obviously, you got Hops, Wooloo, and stuff like that, but a lot of the times you got Pokemon in poses of imposing nature. And when you see that, people, they like them when they see them, but long-term collectors, they tend in Pokemon to like to see cute. They don't like to see violence, right? Many of them want to see an imposed Pokemon telling them something about their environment, not just anger. People don't want to collect a bunch of angry cards or battle cards. People do like cute. Cute sells a lot. And I think there's a little bit of a shift towards that, action anger, rather than the laid back Charizard, laid back red back there. You're gonna see maybe a decrease in demand just by the nature of the Pokemon cards looking a little bit more violent than they have in the past. So that's just a weird prediction, but it's possible you're going to see a decrease in demand because, obviously all the market stuff making people uncomfortable, but possibly as well that you're going to see just this happen in Sun and Moon, this happen in some of the XY. When things are too violent, you don't have the same collectors. Like, people want to escape, and they don't want the roughness of the real world to impact the Pokemon. Pokemon, I think, is meant to be like this glorious, glorious, fun, relaxing. Everybody wants Pokemon to help them out in the world. They don't want to fight. Like, let's say Pokemon existed in the real world. These sentient beings who can speak but only say their name. Let's say they exist. Would you want to be out fighting your neighbor, doing a battle, throwing Pokeballs at Pokemon? Or would you want them to be helping grow your indoor plants? Would you like them to be sleeping on the couch with you? Would you like them to be helping you cook dinner? So what's the answer? You'd want them to be helping you. You don't want to be out fighting with Pokemon. And what you're seeing is there's more violence in the cards instead of the cute. I think people like the cute. So the only thing that'll drop the demand might be the lack of, not lack, but slowly shift towards violence rather than cute. I kind of hope they bring back the cute. It's going to be, it'll help with a lot of these sets. Most of the time, the best cards are the ones where the Pokemon is sleeping, the Pokemon is relaxing, the Pokemon is in a state of calm or a state of wonder, not a state of anger. And you'll see that. We'll see how that affects, because you open up a set, and I'm not talking just about the hit cards, I'm talking about the overall flow of all the cards in a set. Sun and Moon, XY, they're a little bit more rough in terms of what was happening in the Pokemon's life when they got imaged on their card. So we shall see. Let's hope calm, peace, joy comes back to the hobby. Let's hope Pokemon does increase the supply a little bit, so at least people can not have to fight in the Walmarts and the Costco's anymore, because nobody likes that. Destined Rivals is going to be a good set. A lot of people are naysaying now because it's not the greatest set ever, but in truth, I think it's a really, really good set. And your hot take, it's a good set. I think the negativity that you're hearing about, oh, I didn't get that wonderful card with, who's the trainers? I didn't get my Giovanni's Mewtwo, or I didn't get an armored Mewtwo. I didn't get, I guess we are getting a Wobbuffet in the promo in the ETB, but in essence, you didn't get that. Pokemon only gave you a slice of the pie. They didn't give you the whole pie because they want you to come back for the pie later. More pie later. That's their business. They're here to get you. They're not here to satiate you. They're here to make you hungry, and that's what every single set is. It's like, yeah, there's probably card mock-ups that they look at and they say, this is too good. Like there has to be like mock-ups and arts that are like, we can't put this in a set. You know, like people will go crazy. Like think of some of the fan art that's done and then superimpose that with a whole set of really talented professional artists and what they could produce. And you see a fan art and you're like, ah, but imagine what's put away in a locker somewhere of arts that are too good to put in a set because it would make people go crazy. And I think those pieces of arts definitely exist. They don't want people to be satiated. And I think it's absolutely a trend in Pokemon is they'll give you a little bit and want you to want for more. So let me know what you guys think of Destined Rivals. It's not going to be a bad set. It's going to be a really good set. It's not going to satiate people who wanted a Team Rocket Dark Pokemon. It's not going to satiate people, but it's going to be really good, and a lot of people are going to really enjoy collecting it if they can find it. Thanks, guys.